I'm open and willing to embrace change for my staff, right? So I mean, if somebody comes to me with an idea that they think is going to, be great, help streamline the process, help streamline, the customer service, helps streamline them being able to do their job, right? I'm totally open.
Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of the Auto Tech Show. My name is Mark Babb and it's great to have you with me. Thanks so much for joining us and what's set to be a really good episode. On this episode, we're taking a trip to the front line of automotive service, of course, that tire shop. But not just any tire shop, we're talking about the ones that are embracing innovation head on. My guest for this session comes to us from the Canadian West Coast, and even more interestingly, we are here in Victoria, BC, my hometown. It's great to be back, and I'm pleased to welcome Trevor Jensen, the owner of Big O Tires Victoria and board member with Big O Tires Canada. Trevor's built his business on something every customer wants: clarity, communication, and trust. And he's doing it by blending old school services with new school technology. So on this episode, we're going to dive into how the modern shops are using digital tools to earn loyalty, how technology is transforming the shop floor, and why the future of tire service is just as much about people as it is about the tech that supports them. So with that introduction, Trevor, thanks so much for doing the show. And more importantly, thanks for having me in your beautiful house. It's great to be back here, and what a view.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thanks for having me on your show. It is, to me, it's a tremendous accolade. We're just a little store, right? And
a big name,
a big name, little store, and the capital of BC. Just thank you. I've always wanted to do a podcast.
There we go. Oh, it's the first one.
Here we are, first one.
We're gonna get that itch off of you, and soon you'll have something going pretty quick. So
sounds good. Yeah, I mean, we've been around for 32 years. Family business. My father started it in the early 90s. We've grown from one location to three locations.
In Victoria
in Victoria, in the Greater Victoria region. We're one of the biggest dealers within our group. Kind of a key point store as well. Test store for, innovation, new technology,
which I love,
new systems, processes, procedures. We sort of set the benchmark within the group that they adopt, which is great, to see, great for us. And
ultimately, to be honest, that's why I reached out in the first place, because you're seen as that test, as that innovator. You have clearly a mindset of not being afraid to try new things. And that's really where I wanted to start the talk today, was really to kind of look at, and it's a broad question, and we'll dive into the specifics of it as we go through the talk here today. But what does innovation look like in a tire shop today? What does it actually look and feel like?
Well, that's a good question. There's many layers to that. I guess it all really starts with my guys on the front line on the counter, initially fielding the customer, the call, the sale, the walk-in. How does our process differ than from, walking into a Midas or a local mom and pop shop? We are a local mom and pop shop, but just with a banner, right? For us, we have some pretty neat technology that we use. We use a digital repair solution software for our inspections and factory scheduled maintenance. We use that to do our walkarounds with our customers. So they have transparency every step of the way.
Key.
And it is. In an industry that is shrouded with skepticism of bad practices, customers getting taken advantage of.
Lack of trust.
A lack of trust. Trust is key to, the building blocks of our business. And we hold that core as one of our core values. When a customer walks in, we'll walk out, we'll do a walk around of their car with them. We'll take pictures on our tablets all along the way. We'll populate the customer's information within our system. That actually gives us access to their Carfax as well. So then we can, if need be, add our service to, their Carfax history, right? So, I mean, from a sellability and transparency aspect from a customer, it's good, right? Or even, a lot of people have leased vehicles or financed vehicles. They go to trade that in. They want to see all of those documented repairs.
A little bit more of an educated buyer now looking at a bit more of these things. And I think having that unbiased transparency and those facts for the customer, for your service advisors, for your techs, really makes the whole thing just easier for the customer to understand what's going on.
Totally. And it allows us to actually, transfer the information that, is going from my tech in the back to my service advisor up front to the customer in somewhat layman's terms that is not going to scare the customer away. Right? When we're talking about brakes or timing belts, the average person will be like, hey, well, that's a foreign language to me, right? So how can I convey that in a way that the customer's going to understand? So the software that we use is called Repair Shop Solutions. It's great software, and it allows full depth of transparency to our customers from the moment they check in all along the way to them checking out. We can text them, call them, send them pictures, send them videos, instead of, vehicle being brought in, lifted up, inspected, and, the customer having to now trust you wherever they're going on, hey, well, those brakes are actually worn out, or that ball joint actually has play in it, or the wheel bearing is loose, or whatever it may be. We can be under the car, we can take a picture, they can have that texted to them, they can authorize the repair order or the quote.
All in real time.
All in real time, which is lovely. Outside of that, we do have some pretty cool tech in the back of the shop in terms of equipment, which allows us to kind of set the bar at a different level. We do work on a lot of high-end cars. We do a lot of aftermarket wheels and, plus-sized wheels and, not your conventional 15-inch steel wheel, right? And so, I mean, that demands having some sort of specialty equipment because last thing you want is a customer to be like, hey, well, you've scratched my wheel or, you tore the bead on my tire or you broke my sensor or whatever it may be.
All these claims that come.
Well, totally,
and
right?
so having everything transparent throughout the whole process protects you.
Totally.
Protects the customer as well.
It does. Sort of the tire technology that we use in the back, we use Italian-made tire machines. They're leverless, they're touchless, which is very neat because we don't need to physically use a bar and pry the tire off. It's all done by buttons and levers.
So it's standard throughout the whole process.
Standard protocol throughout the whole process. No piece of equipment actually touches the wheel. It's the only actually machines that are designated for Ferraris and Porsches and McLarens and stuff, right? So we use that with every vehicle. So whether it's a Toyota Corolla or your Ferrari, you get that same level of consistency and standard throughout the whole process, right? And the average person is probably thinking, well, they do high-end cars.
My car's going to be well taken care of.
It's going to be well taken care of, but they probably charge a premium. Nope.
Great point.
Hey, if you got your run flat or your 19 by 10 wheel, low profile tire on your exotic car, the price isn't different than if you had your SUV that came in.
So it's very approachable. The process doesn't change for you.
The process doesn't change.
Yeah, it's just the car that changes.
It's just a car.
So I like all the tech stuff, and I do want to get into that a little bit more. I am curious, obviously, you embrace a culture of innovation. You embrace a culture of test and not afraid to fail about trying new things. From your team's point of view, from your team, the techs, the advisors, how do they adopt all of this? Because typically, and I don't think we're breaking any laws by saying this, technicians are creatures of habit. They don't want to change. They're used to the way they do. They want to measure that tread with their penny. They want to do things the way they've done it for the last 20 years. So You're coming in and contrasting all of this with this culture of innovation and approach. How does your team adopt to that?
Well, the core values of the shop, for us, we don't want to ram anything down anybody's throats. We're a group of younger guys that all work for us. Whether it's my technicians, my tire guys, my lube techs, my service advisors, my marketing team, right? They're all younger, so they have that sort of mindset of wanting to adopt change. Right.
That's great.
But we have the mentality of, hey, let's try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't work,
No harm done.
no harm done. Well, let's pivot. Let's try something else. But I also embrace innovation from my staff, from my guys. Hey, you got an idea? Let's try it.
If there's a new way they want to manage something or do a certain process or cut out steps, you're open to listening to that type of on-floor advice.
I am, yeah. So I'm open and willing to embrace change for my staff, right? So I mean, if somebody comes to me with an idea that they think is going to, be great, help streamline the process, help streamline, the customer service, helps streamline them being able to do their job, right? I'm totally open to that.
I love that.
And
that seems to be give and take with both. So that respect you give them allows them to try stuff perhaps you get it as well. So there's really 100%. That back and forth relationship. It's very horizontal.
Totally. And I mean, we do have a couple gentlemen that they've been there for 20, 30 years, and they are set in their ways. So I mean, there is the odd push to teach an old dog new tricks. But I mean, when a couple guys adopt it, when they see that it works, and it makes sense and it makes their life ultimately easier, then why not?
Yeah.
Right. The digital inspections were one thing, going from, your conventional work order on a clipboard to paper to digital green. Inspection. Yeah. That was a push as well. That took some adoption. But now it's like my guys in my mechanical shop, they're like, we'll never go back to paper.
I love when there's a process that comes in that changes the way something's been done.
Totally. Yeah. Even from, our lead management, my guys were like, hey, well, we like checking the emails and we like, logging into Facebook and then checking the messages and, this and that. And I'm like, well, how about we just streamline everything into, one software that, we can do everything with, whether it's, managing our tire storage to sending out mail outs to doing voicemail drops to, fielding our leads, or scheduling.
Customer interaction booking.
Totally. So we've implemented some sort of new computer tech for mitigating sort of all of the back end for lead management, reputation management, prospecting fleet account businesses, and all that's kind of under one software, which is really cool. We've white labeled it, and it works really well for us. Mm-hmm. And I mean, ultimately, it's all about how does it transfer to the customer, right? Are they
as great as it is for you?
Yeah, does our
them?
User experience giving a better customer experience
that they're going to come back to you,
right? Yeah. And I think a big testament to that is our online review, our reputation, right? We built a name for ourselves in the community, with minimal bad reviews, but 3,000 5-star reviews with a 5-star Google rating, right? So, I mean, you look at the average repair shop,
not quite so high.
Couple hundred reviews, there's a lot of shops out there that operate very well, that have high ratings. And more, in different areas and stuff like that. And even in Victoria, there's a lot of great automotive shops to go to that are honest and reputable and provide best practices. We're one of them, and we just
it's happy to compete in that sphere.
We are, and we just happen to have the most reviews. Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Big O Tires is a fantastic company. It's an amazing brand. It's done great for our family, for my father, myself, my brother, who's active in the business as well. There's a lot of benefits and tools that we get at our disposal from Big O Tires USA. But in terms of brand notoriety in Canada, we don't actually have as big of a brand presence as you would think, considering there's so many hundreds of Big O Tires within the continental United States, sure. Right? We're a small network just in British Columbia of 30 stores, and within British Columbia, we've been operating since the 1950s. We've built a great reputation for a trustworthy brand and franchise network to go to get your vehicle serviced. It's a reputation that we've built on trust, right? And transparency, clarity, and good service, and not taking advantage of our customers. But on the island, it's interesting because you're waterlocked from everywhere else. So we have many customers that will come to us and they'll think that we're OK Tire, right? Just because on a national level you have the big competition. You have OK Tire with hundreds of stores. You have Cal Tire with hundreds of stores.
I even noticed just driving up, like Mr. Lube when I left town was just Mr. Lube. Now it's Mr. Lube and tires.
You have Mr. Lube in every demographic, right? So on a playing field, for us, we're a little guy. Right? Even though we might be
on
one
the
of
big table, it's a big name.
We're on a big table, and we might be one of the largest, if not the largest group in North America. Yeah. In Canada, we're just a small fry to some of the big guys. So we try to do everything that we can to have our name known and shown, and give that same level of service that you're going to find with a Fountain Tire, sure. Where there's multiple hundreds of them, right?
Or the big name like the Goodyear guys and all these types of places.
Totally, right? So I think we do a good job.
Yeah. Clearly, I found you before everyone else.
Well, totally, in the province, right? Yeah. So, and that's, sort of contest to all of the local dealers putting their heart and soul behind it, right? Putting the customer first, and trying to operate their shop with the best practices. That might not equate to the highest dollar invoice today,
sure, but the long play.
But the long play is now you're building that customer retention. That's going to be a generational thing, right? Yes. Everybody ages. From my father to my grandfather to myself to my children to my son, who is now in his 20s and driving, and they all need somewhere to go, right? So if there's a shop that's going to take care of you and your family, I mean, why not go there?
You're going to go there for service.
And we're, you can do as much marketing as you want, but still the best marketing is word of mouth. Yeah. Right? One disgruntled, unhappy customer is going to tell 10 people that, hey, I had a bad experience there, don't go there, it's going to snowball out. Yeah. One happy customer is going to praise you and tell 10 people, sure. They had a great experience. So,
especially in their circles and their, yeah.
Totally, and especially, we're less corporate and more local, right? Yeah. So it's where can we get
that corporate name, but attaching that local
feel, that family, and that's I guess the biggest thing is, yes, we have a big name behind us, but we're a family-owned business, right? We're local. We support local. We want to help the community. We constantly have different societies, companies, organizations reaching out to us. How can we donate? How can we help? How can we, stand as a presence in the community? So we'll donate to silent auctions. We'll donate to charity.
So contributing to the community.
We'll contribute, right?
As a business. And as a service.
And as a service. I had a society reach out to me last week and said, hey, we have one of our clients that's a mother in need. She really needs some tires. She's got a commute, single mom. Do you have anything? And I just happened to have a really good set of some takeoff winter tires in her size. I said, I'd love to donate these to a good cause, right? And that's a regular occurrence, right? Not just sort of a one-off, because
You're looking
we're,
for
we're,
that.
we're looking
Yeah.
to have a good standing in longevity. I have a little army of kids, as you're aware, and mostly girls, 4 girls, 2 boys.
As
and,
it goes,
there's a big stigma for women going into the automotive
huge.
repair shop, right? There's not many females that actually work in the environment. Starting to grow more and more. But I want to kind of create a welcoming, nurturing environment, so my girls can, maybe continue on the family legacy, right? And outside of that, make it so, the average, woman that's coming in to get her vehicle serviced, that may not know much about her vehicle needs, is going to feel like she's, being taken care of, and, being valued as a customer, and,
Not feeling like they've been taken advantage
getting
of.
that best service, and not feeling that they're going to be taken advantage of, right?
It's a really nice kind of segue, because I did want to talk about the customer side of this journey.
Yeah.
Obviously, because we have the tech side, but as we touched on, building trust through transparency, through communication, through tools is essential now, because we're seeing such a shift in how the customer wants to understand things. It's no longer just a world of the advisor is right, the tech is right.
Totally.
There's a demand, at least from what we've seen, a demand in change from what the customer is actually looking for. So knowing that, obviously you spoke about the tools you're using, the DVIs, walking through the garage and the vehicle with your customer. Are there other initiatives that you're doing or that you are looking to do that really help to establish that meet the demand of the new customers and what they're looking for?
Well, something that we've done in the past, and we try to put on a yearly basis, and I'd like to do it more, but season permitting, right? And to try to do it on a day that we're closed, and get your staff to come in on a day off is tough.
Enough of an ask,
right?
yeah.
It's enough of an ask when they work very hard, but what we like to do is car care clinics. So we've done community car care clinics. We've done women's car care clinics where, we'll host an event at one of our shops, and, have some customers come down and see us. We'll market it out, and, we'll bring one of their vehicles in, and we'll teach and educate the customer that way, that, hey, this is how you properly do a repair.
This is what to look for.
This is what to look for. We'll do a walk around of their vehicle, check under the hood, check all their fluids, their brakes.
Make sure they know where things are.
Make sure they know where they are.
Great.
And, give that level of education to whomever's receptive to it.
I love that.
Part of the inspection process that we do, and we do it with every car, is we give every customer a complimentary inspection, a peace of mind courtesy inspection. Now, it's not an in-depth diagnostic inspection. It's not a 172-point safety inspection, but what it is it's a 36-point mechanical courtesy check. We're checking all your fluids, we're checking your lights, we're checking your belts, we're checking your hoses, we're checking your front end, your brakes, your ball joints, steering, suspension, your tires. And we have these neat little DNA kits. Diagnostic evaluation fluid analysis kits that are actually proprietary to Big O Tires, and we get these kits from Big O Tires USA, and they're lovely kits. There is a cost associated with them to us, and there is a retail dollar value. I think they're about $19 per kit. We don't charge our customers for it. We just sort of give that out as a courtesy. And what that kit entails is it's got pH balance sort of litmus paper that we can test your oil, your power steering fluid, your brake fluid, your transmission fluid. It's got a coolant test strip in there, brake fluid test strip. It's got a place for us to put our battery printout report when we check your cold cranking amperages, or the state of your starting and charging system. And then it's got a little portion of it for us to make some notes, right? In every work order, every customer gets one of those. Every customer that comes in gets a copy of their factory scheduled maintenance. So, before they even walk out of the shop when they're dropping their car off, we check their mileage. And that's part of doing the walk around with the customer. And
you're getting all those points you need. You're just taking them with you.
We'll check the technical service bulletins. We'll check the recalls. And we'll check what's due for service. So, if they're at 120,000 kilometers, is their timing belt due? Is their spark plugs due? Is their air filter, cabin air filter due? And they'll walk out the store with that in hand, right? We're not going to use it to, try to push something, but we want to have that level of transparency so the customer knows every step of the way where the status of their vehicle, what the state of their vehicle is. And they can be like, hey, well, I did get that done at the dealer. Oh, no, I didn't get that done. Hey, I didn't even know I needed to get this done.
Yeah,
right?
Or they said I needed this, but I don't need that. I need this.
And the reason we do that is to give that customer that dealership feel, right? Vehicle manufacturers manufacture that vehicle. They engineer it. They retail it. They sell it. And they service it at, any manufacturer's brand dealership, right? So your average customer is going to feel comfortable going to the dealership, right? Or want to go to the dealership. But sometimes customers might be like, well, the dealership is very expensive. I can't afford going to the dealership, or it's out of warranty now. Now I guess I'm going to have to go to a repair shop. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, is that repair shop going to, check your vehicle out? Are they going to give you all your factory scheduled maintenance or recalls? I don't do recalls. You're going to have to go to the dealer to do the recall, but I'm going to let you know about your recalls.
Yeah.
Right? And if you want me to even book you the appointment with the dealer,
you're there to help.
We have a great relationship with all the dealerships.
Yeah. Which is great, and it's unexpected as well.
And that's, that's part of, just how it's part of how our culture and how we want to operate is, right? So, we want to have those symbiotic relationships because, hey, maybe there's something that, we can't do and we need to take it there. Maybe there's something that, they need that they don't have. We often have dealerships call us and be like, hey, I got a customer that I just sold a vehicle to, or I got a customer with a cracked wheel. I don't have any wheels in stock. Do you have any wheels? Or I don't have any lug nuts in stock or hardware in stock. Do you have anything?
It's really down to those minor details.
Because we're on an island, there's limited resources, limited warehouses. You have to, have that nurturing relationship. Yeah. Even within the independent repair shops, right? If I've got a customer that has, a tire that's blown out and the local warehouse might not have it, but I know maybe another tire shop might have something like that in their store, I'll give them a call. Yeah. Hey, well, can you help me? I'll help you, right? So,
yeah, and in such a tight community, like you said, I think that relationship element is really big with the other shop.
It is. We're not trying to undercut our competition. We strive to have the best pricing.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, things aren't getting cheaper, right?
You don't want to add that burden on top of what everyone else has to deal with.
Well, totally, right? And that's
because they rely on their vehicles.
And that's actually a big thing, over the past 5 years since COVID, but really past 24 months, our cost has astronomically went up on wheels, on parts, accessories, and tires. So brands, certain brands, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Toyo, Bridgestone, actually all of the brands, they've gone up, quarterly X amount of percent, right? Well, a tire that, maybe I retailed at $150 a tire, $200 or $250 a tire, my cost is that now. Crazy. Right? So now you're adding an extra 100,
you feel like you have that burden to put it on.
Well, totally, right? So, we don't want to make our customer feel like now they can't afford something. But we also need to be able to stay in business,
Yeah.
right? We can't give things away for free. So we try to combat that. We work with different manufacturers to get good, volume rebates. We buy a lot of inventory, in bulk to get a reduced price. So then we can transfer that to our customer. If I'm able to save, 10, 15, 20, $30 a tire and then, give that sort of savings to the customer, well, then I'm not too far off of where the pricing was 5 years ago.
But then even at a different level, all the value add that you bring, you're offsetting those costs. That even if it does cost them a bit more, yes, but we're going to give you this, and this, because you're using the tools and the tech at your disposal and that service element to give more value add.
100%. And I mean, some of those initiatives is our TREAD program, our Tire Rewards exclusive auto discounts. You buy a set of tires from us, you get a brake job done from us, you buy a wheel and tire package, or you get a lift kit installed with us, whatever it may be. You qualify for our TREAD program. What that TREAD program entails is, you're going to get free flat repairs for the life of the tires. You're going to get free rebalancing for the life of the tires. You're going to get free rotations for the life of the tires. You're going to get that courtesy check. You're going to be fully informed of your vehicle every step of the way. And actually, we take it a step further and we'll give you a free set of wiper blades. And we'll give you 12 months roadside assistance.
So really just topping all of these services.
So you're really covered.
Getting more than just a set of tires, getting more than just a new set of brakes.
Way more than just come in the door, here you go, here's your parts, here's your car, see you later.
And that's such a shift from the traditional mindset as well, where you just cut and dry. Tires on, every service you need, you go back and you in. So you're shifting the whole concept of what a service shop is. You're a vehicle service provider rather than a tire shop, rather than a brake shop.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's the way forward, you think, and that's the way everyone's going to go. You're obviously at the cutting edge of that. Is everyone making that shift?
I do see a lot of, in terms of the banner franchises, they do have initiatives that are rolling out. Midas has rolled out their tire service guarantee, similar to ours. There's other local banner stores that have multiple locations within the island. They have a similar concept to it. I like to say that I think ours is probably the most impactful, right? We don't charge anything for it. It's all complimentary. But I mean, to protect your investment of tires, to have them rotated regularly, every couple years you're wearing rubber off the tires. When you wear rubber off the tires, they need to be rebalanced. You need to match the high spot and low spot of the wheel and tires so you don't have high-speed vibrations. We'll do that for you. Any metropolitan city, there's construction, there's building, there's, stuff going up, homes being built, condos being built, whatever it may be. You're going to pick up a nail. You're going to get a flat. It's going to happen, right? Yep. You average that out. The average person, has their vehicle, 5 years. Average tires last, 5-7 years, depending on how many kilometers you put on and the type of tires, seasonality of them. It adds up. You go to one shop versus another shop, might be $20, $30, $40, $50 for a tire repair.
And all this stuff adds up.
On top. A rotation might be $20, $30, $40 for a rotation. Rebalancing might be $20, $30, depending where you go per wheel, right? That all adds up. Now throw in, a set of wiper blades. Depending the quality and where you go, there might be, $20, $30, $40 for a pair. Roadside assistance. I mean, what does a BCAA membership cost, right? And that roadside assistance is, you run out of fuel. You get a flat tire, put your spare on. You need a tow. You lock your keys in the car. I mean, it's very much full circle coverage for that for a year at no charge. I mean, we're
Alone pays for a set
talking
of tires.
thousands of dollars of
People go buy a set of tires
service,
just
right?
instead of that, just take care of that.
And also, there's not much margin in tires, right? So I mean,
You're
it's
really
not like we're
going out
making a
on a
lot of
limb.
money on it, but we're now giving you all this, and people might say, "Well, how can you
That's
afford
crazy.
How can you
Yeah.
afford to do that?" Well, it's good relationships with the manufacturers and the suppliers that we deal with that help us help our customers. So, I mean, these programs that we offer don't actually cost us an arm and a leg, but there's a tremendous amount of value in it.
The perceived value.
And actually, in the booklet that you'll get with our Tread membership program, there's actually coupons for different things. $10 off an oil change, a sliding scale for up to 15% off of
Because you're not giving them enough
services.
yet, yeah.
Right. I know there's not enough impact to it. You need to give you more.
Give them more, yeah.
Right. But yeah, so I mean that's our retail customer program that we have, but we do have programs for business to business, for fleet accounts, right? So we have a hospitality care program for essential workers. We have local fleet initiatives to give businesses that have multiple vehicles, whether it's multiple service vehicles or construction vehicles on the road, or a law office with 20 employees and each one of them have a vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Sign up on the
Small
program,
corporate fleet,
you can get 20% off the labor, right? Which, I mean, 20% off, multiple hundreds of dollars on the
for
average
fleets,
repair,
I mean,
right?
their downtime costs them everything. So
Well,
they need to
totally.
make sure they're out.
We were a finalist yesterday, actually, at the Better Business Bureau Torch Awards. We were nominated for an award, and I thought I didn't realize the nomination categories prior to going there. I'm just like, hey, we got nominated. Cool, let's go check it out, right? So we're there. And, I'm at our table, there's a large-scale construction masonry company. They got 15 service vehicles on the road. And, we're talking with them, and, they're telling me, hey, my one vehicle every week is constantly in the shop getting fixed.
Costing a fortune.
Costing them a fortune. Taking it to the dealership. 15 vehicles, this is where they bought them. Great. They're not getting any discounts.
No.
Right? The guy was telling me, he's like, hey, every time I go there, I got an engine light that comes on. I'm getting charged $160, $70, $80 an hour to diagnose something. Sure. It's happening every week with one vehicle or another. I got to the point where it's like, hey, I went and bought a scan tool code reader to just get those codes so I don't have to pay as much money when I go there. Well, I'm like, I don't want to take business away from somebody else, but
here's what we can offer.
Why don't you come see me? Because I have a program for that, and I'm going to save you some money. And if you want to do the legwork and pull a code, sure, I'll take that. I'll have one of my diagnosticians or head mechanics start there and see if that could be the issue. It could be very much a relevant code. It could be something historically that is irrelevant. Maybe you don't need, right? I mean, there's one code could mean 100 different issues, right?
Yeah. Or it could be something super simple.
From a gas cap, exactly, not holding pressure, to a cracked evap hose somewhere that now you're trying to find that little pinhole leak. Right.
And doing that proper diagnostic is something where you need the experience to know what you're looking for, to save them time and money so their fleet is...
Well, totally. The last thing that you want to do is say, hey, well, I don't know, but, it's going to take,
a day of
potentially,
diagnostics.
An hour to 5 or 6 hours of diagnosing until I can have a maybe.
And then there's the cost on the repair.
Well, totally, right? So, I don't like maybes. No. Right? I want to say, hey, this is your issue. This is what it's going to cost to fix. And,
coming back to that point on transparency and clarity, no matter who it's for, not giving them Well, let us just take a look and we'll get back to you going into it with more certainty. So there's, again, coming back to trust.
And that's 100%. And that's a testament to why we were there last night. Yeah. So I had no idea what, category we were nominated in.
Sure.
I'm thinking,
automotive, yeah.
I'm thinking like there's like 20, 30 automotive, main automotive shops in, the greater Victoria area. We're nominated within that category of automotive, whether it's a tire shop or a mechanic shop or a oil change or place, whatever it is. So I'm sitting there, and then our nomination comes up. Customer service and sales. And I'm like,
there's a lot of companies in that window.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a weird category to be nominated in. Then I started thinking, I'm like, but that's a cool category to be nominated in, because how many businesses that offer customer service or retail in Victoria that are all Better Business Bureau accredited? Well, there's 20,000 businesses.
I mean, so to be in that category.
And to be an automotive shop in that category, they get second place out of 20,000
showing that stigma
businesses.
is breaking.
Well, it is. It's us breaking the stigma, and it's just a cool accolade. We didn't win, but hey, that's fine. I'm
genuinely to be nominated.
Need to win. If it was an automotive category, I didn't
want to win.
But
to be in a category with 20,000 other
right?
To be in a category.
I'm just cool to be recognized in a category where the typical automotive industry has just got a bad rep, right?
I think it's an incredible testament to all the work you've been doing and the work you're doing and the culture that you have in your shop. So massive congratulations to just being in that spot to begin with, regardless of whether you win or not.
Well, totally. And I mean, the culture is for us, it's, my guys aren't a number. They're not a tech number, right? They're family, right? We are very much a family, and we vocalize that, we stress that fact that it's like, hey, I got your back, you got my back, I got your family's back, right?
If you need something, just ask.
Because you got my family's back. Ultimately, this is a family business.
Yep,
right?
The work they do impacts you. So
it does. So, I mean, and we do cool things for our guys. Like, we'll do ride and drives. We get cool trips from suppliers. If I got some technicians or whomever that are working really hard, I might send them away for a weekend with their family to just go get some rest and relaxation, and that is very valuable.
It doesn't happen.
You wouldn't get that at a big sort of banner store, because it's corporate and you're just a number.
It has to be a line item for that.
Right.
It has to be return on everything.
Exactly. One of our employees had some really unfortunate news with immediate family member. His son, little boy, got diagnosed with cancer. Right? Very unexpectedly. And when I heard that, man, like, my heart sunk.
Yeah, for your family.
I have little girls, right? I spend more time with my colleagues than I do with my family, because I work with them all day. So I'm like, these guys, I hold near and dear to my heart. They're family, right? So what can I do to help, my colleague, right? So, what can I do to help him and his family? So, we've helped set up GoFundMe pages. We've done a little marketing campaigns. Every staff member is blasted online. We've got little posters in each one of our stores at the counter to, and spread awareness, right? It's not something that we want, people to feel like, hey, well, here's this, you're obligated to do it. Not at all.
No, but it's helping your family,
we want to help
team.
Because, we hire, people that aren't necessarily, from Victoria. We tap into a large talent pool. So, I mean, I have guys that I've sponsored from, other countries to bring in here, right? That are new. They don't know as many people. Their reach isn't as big, right? So, for instance, the gentleman that this happened to, he's from Peru, right? So he's been in Canada for a few years, very talented, very smart individual, lovely family, but he doesn't have the reach. He doesn't know that
doesn't
many
have
people,
the
right? He
resources,
doesn't have family here. He doesn't have contacts here. So how can...
So you're able to provide that
Totally.
to him as you would to anyone on your team.
Oh, so, exactly. And a point to that is an extra layer. I mean, some of the stuff that we offer to our guys internally, to help them, like gas cards, right? To be able
Simple
to
as
commute,
that.
to come to work, benefits, right?
Above and beyond the minimum.
Above and beyond the minimum, no cost to our employees. I'm not docking it off their paycheck. I'm saying, hey, I feel everybody needs health and dental care and, benefits. Let's help you out. And
That's so
now,
great, yeah.
now he's got that for his family. Right?
And really, that does have an effect on the work they do and the work they do
does.
for you. And it really creates a better sphere that everyone's in.
Well, and I mean, especially in an industry where there's such a revolving door.
I was going to say,
Right?
Notorious.
Mike, I mean, there's the odd guy that, will want to do something else in his life and move on or graduate from, working for me. Amazing.
Yeah, support them in that way.
100%. We'll support them, and, they go into another business. We'll try to help support that business and vice versa. Yeah. But for the bulk of our staff, they've been with us for a very long time. And it's a testament to how we treat our employees.
Another testament, yeah.
I mean, I got guys that have been there for 30 years, right? I have, one of my managers has been with us for 32 years. Another manager, 17 years. Another manager, 10 years.
Yeah, which you don't find very often.
You don't find that anywhere.
Especially in automotive.
Yeah. Our technicians. I mean, my mechanics, all of them have been with us for multiple years. And, we have guys that haven't been with us for multiple years, but that's because we're growing and we're expanding, and now we need more
and in a
bodies,
decade's time,
right?
They'll be there.
Exactly. And that's the thing.
I think it's really great. I mean, it's clear that you fostered this culture that keeps people enjoy it.
Yeah.
They in turn reflect that on the customers, on the culture of innovation that, coming full circle to that again as well. It all has a piece to play. They're all variables and puzzle pieces to what you're creating, to the masterpiece that you're creating. And I think it's great to have the conversation with you. And it's why I wanted to reach out originally, was because I could see it was being done differently. Even just seeing the content you do online, and that's where I had stumbled across you guys originally.
Well,
and that was different than what I expected, and it was great to watch. And I gotta talk to these guys.
From the online standpoint, we got a great marketing team, a great videographer. All of the guys at the shop, thoroughly enjoy doing the videos and being a part of it. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. It doesn't feel like work, and and that's kind of, we want to set the bar different with it, because, you look at all these other, dealer groups or whatever. It's, hey, buy 3, get the 4th free, save $50 here
all
on
sales.
this, whatever. It's a little picture, all sales, nothing, warm and fuzzy about it.
Whereas you're on the engagement side first.
Yeah, we want to provide some cool content.
Educational content.
Knowledge-based. We want to make some sales, 100%.
But hook them first, yeah. And I think that's what's really great. The content is there to educate and to inform. Totally. And then when they need something, they know who to trust, because you taught them that.
100%. And our guys have fun doing it too, right?
You can tell with the content.
Going up to a racetrack and, driving a few cars around or whatever to, film a shoot or going off-roading or...
Yeah, the hands can't fly up fast enough.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So there's probably not enough content for all of our guys to actually dive into it, but
you're making a big step, and you're definitely contra to
yeah.
everything that's doing. So, listen, this has been fantastic. I've learned a lot more than I originally assumed that was going on, and I love that. So, massive congratulations and kudos to everything you're doing. I've really enjoyed the chat. If I had a car, I'd take it there right now to get it, have a look at, but. This car's got to go back to the mainland. So.
Fair enough.
But I appreciate it. And anything else that you wanted to mention before we wrap? It's been a great talk.
Well, thank you so much. I just, I feel honored and privileged to, be on this show, to be able to talk to you, talk to your audience, tell the world, kind of how we operate.
Challenge a lot of those traditional places.
Totally. Hopefully, there's some automotive shop some automotive shop owners or managers or advisors listening to this conversation that might think, hey, we could tweak this, or we could tweak that. We could do this a little bit differently.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe our engagement can change. Maybe our customer, experience can change.
How you add value. I mean, you had so many stories of how you're doing things.
Totally.
Someone will take something and apply it to their world.
Totally.
Always.
And
constantly
hey,
learning.
If you need some advice, give me a shout at my shop.
That's
right?
it.
I'll always lend in here. I just don't need 100 people call me.
We'll
all at once.
We'll filter it out.
But I mean, if you want to learn more about how we're operating for anybody, call me.
We'll make sure everything's below. People get in touch directly.
Totally, right? I mean, I got no problem saying, hey, this is what we do, or this is how we operate, or whatever. Because at the end of the day,
it's an industry moving forward.
It's an industry, and I'm not here. I'm here to kind of support everybody, right? Because you might be in Texas or Montreal or whatever. It has no effect to me, right? If I can help you, sure, why not, right? So, I'm just honored. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Cool, my friend.
And for everyone watching and listening, thank you for being with us on this show. So much to digest and amazing insights from Trevor. Hopefully you're able to take a few things, apply it to your thinking process of how you're doing things, and learn a little bit and maybe make some changes in the future. So lots to digest. If you have any questions or comments about what you heard on the show, head down to the comments and the notes section of this podcast, and tons of resources there. Get in touch with myself or Trevor. Please do. Be happy to have further conversations and share a little bit more about what's going on. So with that, again, thank you so much for joining us. Wishing you a great day wherever in the world you may be. From Victoria, we'll see you guys on an episode very soon. Bye-bye.